Hey, these hoes go do what they wanna do, man. Get some money, nigga. Man. And bitch, don't be claiming me.
Hey, Sledge, bring them sounds down one time.
Straight up. 5 a.m. writing down my goals, I got bigger plans. Pray for better days, but I had to go and make it happen. Stay up on your game, think bigger, nigga, you can have it. We can sip this juice and get some money, but I can't do the marriage. What's happening, no? Plain Jane watch, kept it casual. Mashing, no. G-O-D, I need a classy hoe. Shrimp fried rice, homemade by the Ruger, though. You probably never see me on the scene, my life a movie, though. Pulled out the vet, met baby at the container store. Bought a bookcase and something to hold this paperwork. I had a little issue with my Nash, I brought it to Mo. Slid across the bridge real quick, now I'm in the O. Money be the reason. Man, no. Money be the reason. Yeah. When I had that spot in Jack London, I was 4D, low key. But if you knew me, you knew I was eating. Monterey with my bottom bitch, quick conversation. Make sure you stay on your toes, I got a flight to Asia. Back when I'm mad at the 6, I really took them trips. Sacrificed years in the game, but it got me rich. Life's a trip, gotta keep going, there's a lot to get. Came a long way.
All right, now, welcome back to another video. Appreciate you guys taking a minute out of your day and just sitting down and chilling for a little bit, man. So I want to keep it real straightforward with this ab training. This is what I do 2 to 3 times a week. I typically have that programmed in the same way. If you guys are on the training app, you'll see, abs are done pretty much every other day, and I keep it simple. I don't like doing a whole lot all at once. Now, when I first started training, I would do, I had a whole abs and conditioning day, I called it, where I took a whole day of my training out of my week every week and hit abs for like 40 minutes. And it's definitely some overkill. It did develop my core between the obliques, the transverse abdominis, the rectus abdominis, for sure. Honestly, to the point where I probably overdeveloped my obliques, so that outer portion of your abs, which for stability, functionality, that's smooth, I'm gonna protect my spine a little better that way, especially when I'm doing bigger lifts. But from an aesthetic standpoint, it kind of made things a little bit more difficult for me, because when you start to build your core kind of laterally, right, to the sides by hitting those obliques with some kind of weighted movement, whether it be like weighted side crunches. I used to do a lot of like hanging wipers, which was sick, but again, it kind of bulked up my core a little bit to where I have to then compensate by making my lats and my shoulders bigger to still get that V taper. So I don't want to say to avoid it altogether, but at this point in my training and knowing what I know now, I would have definitely dialed that back and started what I'm doing now sooner. So with that said, what I do now is I pair 2 exercises that both are going to target the rectus abdominis, so the abs right in the front there. And I want one of those exercises to be bottom up rotation. So something like a leg raise, whether it's on the ground, hanging, maybe a variation like a bent knee raise, hanging from the bar, right? Something where my hips and my legs are rounding up toward my rib cage, right? And then, so that's one. That's coming up from the bottom is gonna focus on the lower portion of the abs, the lower portion of the rectus abdominis. And then the other, I'm doing top-down rotation. So something like a crunch, a weighted crunch. Sometimes I'll do like one of those Bosu balls to get a better stretch on the core. As you saw from what I filmed a little earlier in the week, the bottom up rotation was a hanging leg raise. Again, if you can't do those, you do a hanging knee raise where your knees are bent, a little less tension there. Or you could even do just a leg raise from the ground. As long as you're controlling, especially the descent of your legs, that's where that muscle is stretching. And like any other muscle, you want to control that negative, because that lengthening is where that muscle can really be put to the test. And then that top-down rotation is that weighted crunch I do, which is technically a sit-up with how high I'm coming up. But I do that because once I got to a point in weight, like once I was more than, really once I start passing like 25 pounds with that plate, I notice I have a hard time getting as good of a squeeze unless I come all the way up. And then the advantage of coming all the way up is it kind of lengthens that distance I have to fight the negative. So as I'm coming back down, trying to keep the weight over my head, I'm really trying to fight that. And again, that's really forcing my core to work versus when I have a smaller range of motion with just a traditional crunch, it's harder for me in such a short range of motion to engage my abs as effectively on the way down, because I just don't have as much time to kind of like mentally lock into it each rep, if that makes sense. You'll feel it if you try it out. It gives you a little more time to say, okay, I really got to control this going down, not just like up a little bit, then I'm back down. I'm like, oh wait, I missed that one. Let me reset this rep, because I would do that all the time where like I don't feel reps, whether it's ab training or other muscle groups, and I'm like, all right, that wasn't a great rep, didn't control it, and then I'll recount. You know, if I'm at 7, then the next rep is 7, then if that's good, then I go to 8. That's it. That's really the formula for ab training. So 2-3 times a week, and then I'll do 3 to 4 rounds of that, maybe 10 to 15 reps. Really depends on the difficulty of the exercise, the weight I'm using. That'll kind of dictate whether I'm higher on that rep range or lower. You know, I try to find something appropriate. If you are in the ab, I do have a whole ab workout collection essentially, which is designed so if you just want to mix up your ab workouts with the rest of the programming that's in the app, you can pick and choose, you know, what you want to do at the end of sessions. If you're in the main page, it's all the way at the end of the collections and the programs. If you scroll all the way over, you'll see it there. Golly, it's been another good week, man. I hope you had a good holiday if you celebrate. Getting ready for a smooth New Year here in a minute. But yeah, it was a cool week, man. Just connecting more with you guys, whether it's DM or in the comment section. It's always cool to hear from you guys and kind of what you guys relate to. Because I've been getting into talks a little bit more recently, and man, my mindset this week has been the same. Really more of what was going on last week in my head, which is the patience and the presence. You know, when you're focused on that next thing, to understand that whatever it is you want or desire, and I believe this, whatever it is you want or desire, scratch that. Whatever it is that's meant for you will be there for you. It's not, you're not missing anything. You might feel like you missed this opportunity, you missed this relationship, or this, man, whatever it is. But man, I'm a believer that only left space for the real blessing, and you may not realize what it is. Like, I think about that a lot of times. Like, in the moment, I've been in the past, like, you go through some stuff and you're like, how the heck, like, where's the positive in this, man? Because this, it's not always just missing an opportunity. Sometimes it's some real pain, you feel like there's some real holes that have been, or wounds that have been opened up in a way where it's tough. But, then down the road, you're like, golly, like, at least I'm like, golly, if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have stepped into this opportunity. I wouldn't have met this person. I wouldn't have focused on this for myself, which led me to do like this. Man, I think it's real, and I believe it, and it keeps me positive, keeps me hopeful. And I think that's everything right there, at least for me. I do my best to talk with God, and I put my faith in that, so whether you want to call it God, the universe, whatever, man. I truly believe what's meant for you will come. I look at myself, like, I have these big goals and things I want to do, and be able to put myself in positions to provide for this and that, all this stuff down the road. But it's like, all right, that just starts with, like, what are the little wins today? Like, for me, all right, just finishing this video, editing this video, giving my best effort to this, what I'm doing right now in this moment. That's what's going to set me up, down the road to prepare myself for the bigger blessings or the bigger things. It's like, it's the little steps along the way. So, just keep making those small wins add up. You know what I mean? Keep being present in this moment, and trust that, man, the things coming to you are coming in the time they're meant to come, and whatever is meant for you will come to you. The universe, God, like, is gonna come in due time, when it's meant to be there. And man, just trust that. And man, it's some powerful stuff, man. I'm telling you. It's, in some ways that could sound a little vague, but man, like, the more I lean into that, the more I accept that, just that general notion, not even on anything specific sometimes, but just that general notion, man, it's like the anxiety, the stress, the rushing around, it all just kind of calms down. It all chills out. And then it's like, okay, not only do I trust myself to do the work and in due time, the results will come. It's like in that, I'm not stressing, because even if I could get the results I want and the things I want, man, if I was stressing all the way up until then, even if it happened in the same time, like if you told me in 2 months this would happen, in 3 months this would happen, and I have 2 options, and no matter what is gonna happen, at the end of the day, I'd rather get there chilling. You know what I mean? I'd rather get there not stressed out. And again, it goes back to that presence. It's like, it's hard to be present when you're constantly stressing. Sometimes stress can be a motivator. It could push you a little bit for sure. But I'm talking about that the unnecessary stress, the unnecessary anxiety, where you're kind of putting it on yourself and just not being here right now in it. So just a little extra thought, kind of the same topic as last week, as we end this year and get ready for 2025, man. So I'm rooting for you guys. I'm rooting for myself. You know what I mean? We got this. We got this for sure. So appreciate you guys watching today. I will see you next year. Already, it's crazy, man. But I appreciate you guys. Have a blessed new year. Right now.